I'm curious then what Navi's going to potentially ban where they think a lot of these heroes are going to be going.
Think about anything they want. This is the most flexible draft I've ever seen in my entire life.
At this point, just ban what you don't want to come up against.
Yeah. Necrophos is another carry that Dahak plays.
Yeah. First, the Night Stalker could be really annoying for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say the clock is not only good for Snap this game, but against the Enigma too. You can cancel the Black Hole if you get the right angle.
So true.
And there's nothing he can buy to stop that. Like no Lincoln Sphere play or anything like that.
10 seconds remaining.
You're selling me on it.
Yep.
Also, I do want to clarify, Snap is a 100% win rate in Division 1 Eastern Europe.
So, well, see, I'm really rooting for the Clockwork now, but I do want Snap to continue her reign of dominance
That would
over
be
the
insane.
Eastern Europe region, yeah.
Yeah, this looks like a free Ember game though. They don't really have any stuns for him.
Oh,
I will say
excuse
that.
me. What about the Leaf talent that doesn't go through BKB?
Oh, Gyrocopter.
That's
That's their carry and their... I mean, this is good, only good versus Enigma, where you kill the Eidolons with flat cannon in lane.
So I think the Dream is dead and it's a Coddle
10
mid.
seconds remaining.
Unless this is a Clock mid, but that would be
5
insane.
seconds remaining.
No, it could still be clock off.
Oh, Beast mid?
Beast carry with gyro support.
Gyros, who goes mid? Oh, the Coddle mid. Oh, you're right. You're right. We can mix and match this,
The Dream is
baby.
still alive.
Yes, sir.
Whatever you want it to be, it can be.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and then they just get lost pick.
He...
Lifestealer.
Yeah,
Lifestealer.
V-Tune doesn't mind playing this Lifestealer into...
I'm pretty sure it was
The
last
Beast.
picked both other games that we saw them in the last series too. So I'll let you guys sit on your thoughts about what you think for this draft. As we want to bring in T-Panda and Hairy Freak, our casters for this series. T-Panda, it's so great to see you again. But please, hi, hello, and also give me your thoughts on the draft.
Hey, thanks, panel. It's great to be here, man. Looking at BetBoom again after the major. I mean, who can not be excited about watching them play once again? Like, I've been a huge fan of the team. Then we got Navi, starting with Enigma Night Stalker. I mean, can it get better than that? I'm hyped.
It is going to be interesting. We're going to be jumping into game 1 very, very soon. So I'll let you guys quickly do your closing thoughts and where you think this game is going to go.
V-Tune Lifestealer can't lose, so he's going to carry this game.
It's not far. 100% win rate, can't lose. So I guess that's also going to carry this game.
Okay, so you're both just on that Navi. That's it. It is what it is. Alrighty, well,
Stats don't lie.
Stats don't lie. That's it. But T-Panda and Harry Freak, I'll let you guys have a discussion too as we jump into game 1 between Navi and BetBoom.
Well, Harry, Navi versus BetBoom. I'm already excited about the Enigma Night Stalker, but you kind of brought up a pretty good info about the Beastmaster against the Lifestealer and the Gyrocopter trio. Tell me more about that.
Well, it's a weird one. I was thinking, like, do they want to pick a Lifestealer into a Beastmaster just because the gyro doesn't do anything to the hero? And Navi decides to do it. I'm actually quite fine with it, considering that Navi, they have a lot of lockdown, they have a lot of chase, they have really good heroes for the Lifestealer to infest. So I think that that they should be fine with this one. If you have with the Lifestealer, even though you're gonna suffer a little bit in the lane, it's gonna be a tough one. You still have the Snapfire to kind of help you deal with the boars, and of course later on you have the Night Stalker for division. I think Navi, in my mind, they have the advantage in this game. They just need to posture the Lifestealer aggressively onto towers, keep the tabs on the Beastmaster, and if the Beastmaster isn't there, there's absolutely no chance that the Lifestealer will go down in the later portions of the game. Of course, the Lifestealer, the Ember, the Enigma, they're gonna be crushing BetBoom. So I am looking forward to seeing what the Hawk is gonna bring with the gyro. Whenever I see a new patch, I look at the Hawk as the one that is gonna bring some fun to us. He is maybe the most innovative player. It's not that he only plays cheese picks, it's that he pretty much always creates a new meta. But even other carry players kind of go and watch his stream to know what's going to be good. So we see a gyro without the wisp, something that we don't see too often. So this is going to be fun to see how it works out.
Yeah, the Hawk, he's definitely an influencer, but I think both of us, we've been watching BetBoom for who knows how long, since Tour 1, and we've been, big fans of the team and finally get to see them play in Division 1. What does that make you feel? Are you still, like, I know, making you feel maybe a bit biased towards BetBoom because you've seen these guys been grinding their way to this, like, all the way this far? Or, what makes BetBoom special in this series? Because Navi is a hot team right now. They're very difficult to beat.
and definitely makes me biased because we have been there for the worst for BetBoom. They had problems with Dodron. It wasn't sure if he could play. Then they brought in Larl. We didn't know what was going to happen, and they just kicked off. I told you off stream we had so many interviews with Mag, you and me,
with
that
Mag,
he kind of, and he's their coach, so we kind of became friends. So it is very hard to be a to not be biased towards BetBoom, but I still think even with that, I'm gonna have to say Navi looks like a bit of a better draft for me. This December is just looking amazing. They have no catch for him, and the Coddle, until he has a BKB, I think you and me casted a series a few days ago in Division 2. Until the Coddle has the BKB, he will not be able to show in this game. Plus, he's giving a free lane to the Ember. So this is definitely not going to be an easy game for BetBoom.
Yeah, definitely for sure a lot of difficulties. I think Fear said as well that this is a perfect Ember Spirit game when you're looking at it. Even like we've seen a lot of good Clockwork plays where the support Clockwork just kind of constantly rotates into the mid lane to poke the Ember Spirit. Maybe even kind of like drive him mad or something. Maybe even get a kill or just showing up for the cogs or just the battery assault to kind of like make an appearance. But I think the meta has changed so that you're not really able to go into the mid lane too early on, and we're still locked into this 2-1-2 setup where only in the 4 and 6 minute markers are we going to see some action happen in mid. We did have a tiny pause to start things off, and hopefully the go signs are given from the players so we can go again and get this game underway. The first game of this best of 3 series, the last one for today with Navi versus BetBoom. Good to go. And for one, I think this is probably one of the best series in terms of teams playing during this tour already on the first week, and I think that's quite a lot said because there's a lot of fans out there for both of these two teams. BetBoom has been building a huge fan base since the major, before the major, when they made their way to first place through the playoffs. They've been grinding like mad, and now they've got into this position where they actually get to play against these Div 1 teams.
Yeah, and BetBoom, on the major, they were the strongest Eastern European team by placement, and by plays, they were definitely looking pretty hot. But Navi, the series that we saw for them against Pariparni, I'm afraid of this team. I really want to see how they do against BetBoom. Maybe, no one has always been a player that kind of crushes players that are slightly weaker than him. So maybe it was just that Pariparni are slightly weaker than Navi, and that's why they looked so good. So I think this is the real test for us to actually understand how powerful this team is. On paper, they should be quite strong, but here's the real opponent for you. BetBoom isn't gonna be an easy target, though. In this game in particular, there's gonna be a lot of running towards Navi when it is daytime, and a lot of running towards BetBoom when it is nighttime. It's pretty good that both teams do have vision heroes, and I think BetBoom, it's gonna be a bit easier for them to utilize that daytime than it is for Navi to utilize the nighttime, just because of the Hawk vision, and of course because of the rocket flare. So I think that's the thing that BetBoom have going for them. They should be gunning for it to actually utilize.
What about this mid lane matchup, though? The Ember Spirit versus the Coddle. How do you play out from the laning stage? Or do you already make your plays either as the Ember rotating to the side lanes or the Coddle? Or do you just wait for a so-called post-laning stage moments where you can finally start to make some plays with Coddle and his Boots of Travels already being picked up, able to have that mobility around the map? Or is it item-based? Is it level-based?
It is mostly level-based. Well, the lane itself is going to be going towards the Coddle. He's going to be getting more farm, right? But the thing is, when the laning phase is done, when the Ember starts making moves, that is when the Coddle needs to be very careful, because if you are on the first one that the Ember encounters, make no mistake, you will die. So you always need to be careful how you're approaching fights. And BetBoom, I mean, right now in Dota, you need all of your heroes to kind of participate early on. But if I would have to make a guess, I think the greediest one might be Larl, just because he needs that BKB in this game.
Also, when you're looking at this this bottom lane, it is going to be the Snap Lifestealer combo versus the Beast and the Mirana. Already touched upon the topic that this Beastmaster should have a pretty decent time against this Lifestealer in the lane. You said that the gyro counters are usually countered by Beastmaster, so we see this small love triangle being built up that way. But I really like having this Mirana in the lane, mainly because of the experience provided by the Sacred Arrow. Gives that extra bit of boost for the Beastmaster to hit that level 3, level 4, level 5 much faster than you regularly would, which makes this lane a lot stronger for the Beastmaster.
Yeah, the Mirana pretty much just needs level 2. You don't need anything else. Just to make sure that the Lifestealer can't run you down with the Ghoul Frenzy. So once Force Major gets that one, it's gonna allow the Beastmaster to get level 3 with the 2 points in boards. That is when Lifestealer's life gets a little bit tougher though. Notice he goes for the inner beast, showing that he might actually opt to go for the wild axes. Given that the Mirana is quite a solid harasser, might be the way he goes. We'll see what he decides to do. I expected the boards, but maybe he's afraid of feeding level 1 boards to the Snapfire.
Could be, yeah. And I think maybe it's that he just doesn't feel like the boars are going to stay alive for too long in this lane. But it's a good thing to notice. Snapfire already having level 2 Scatterblast Cookie combo does definitely do a lot of damage, not only just to boars, but also into heroes, which you need to pay attention to. See both of the supports here. Our pause for Enigma on Sweden Strong, and our lane support Soneko quickly saying hello to each other there in the dire side jungle.
I just want to see this game how and if Soneko will be greedy. Mirana herself, you know, you farm much just through your arrow when you are going between lanes, usually on the enemy part of the map, so you don't take much. And Soneko tends to be sometimes a bit greedy, let's say when he's playing a Winter Wyvern. Now with the clock doing double damage with the Battery Assault, he might actually go for some camps at some point. Maybe not so early on in the game. That is when the Gyro and the Keeper of the Light really need to get their farm up. But later on in the game, I'm sure he's going to be farming some camps with the Battery Assault.
Laurel using Illuminate to farm the Ember Spirit's easy camp while being under the tower there, maximizing that farm output. Meanwhile, they are putting a bit of a chase onto the Enigma. Rocket will connect. The Soneko's gonna be there with the Battery Assault, but does he have the damage for it? Malefice, not quite. Used there by the Enigma, and even no one comes to quickly check. Are you okay, buddy? Everything seems okay. No problem there. Enigma makes his way out. Only got 8 CS so far. Not in trouble. Marauder Courier was a bit AFK under the tower there. V-Tune, easy grabs.
These movements from the supports are actually benefiting Navi. Force Major is running into a pretty bad situation himself, but with the leaps should be fine. The reason why it's so good is Night Stalker, he loves to be in a 1 versus 1 scenario because you pretty much just need levels, and then on minute 5 you're gonna start going strong, and the Lifestealer isn't afraid of the Beastmaster alone. Now with the 2 points in boards, actually Natus is gonna start applying some pressure, but you can see a clear difference in terms of CS right now, and the Night Stalker himself, as we mentioned, he doesn't really need that one. He needs to survive until the night time comes, and then it's gonna be a bit tougher for the Hawk to lane here.
The big difference between some of the Division 1 and Division 2 teams here in East Europe has been that Division 2 has finally been picking up on the kills per minute pace. But I can see Division 1 is now, you know, what Division 2 was 3, 4, 5 months ago. Not only in just this game, I've seen there's a very small amount of kills in the pre-6, pre-8 minutes into the game. So people, you know, they're just focusing on getting their levels, hitting their timings, not getting openings that many times, and, you know, just chilling about and kind of, you know, I guess you could say, smelling the air in a way. Like, what is there a change in the wind? What's going to happen? What does the other team want to do? Are we all both just kind of playing it defensively / passively and just letting the time slide?
So yeah, as you mentioned, the Division 1 now is kind of copying Division 2, and that does make sense. They sent Hellraisers and PuckChamp to Division 2 and they got slapped. So I think the other Division 1 teams are definitely looking at Division 2 and like, what are these guys doing? Okay, first thing, no kills until minute 7-8, so let's copy that first. One also big thing, BetBoom, finally they bring the Mirana to the bottom lane to start pressuring V-Tune, because Beastmaster now with level 2 in boars, they can actually do something to him. So that's why Force Major finally finally comes to the bottom lane again and wants to start applying pressure. Usually with the lifestealer, when you get the phase boots, everything goes your way, but against the Beastmaster, that's just not how it works.
Yeah. You have a pretty decent combo in this bottom lane as well. If Sweet and Strong was to rotate with his level 2 Eidolons picked up, because Snap's already got the combo required to keep them in place with the slows. Level 2 Eidolons do a lot of damage. Like, you could almost say a ridiculous amount of damage. But do they get to utilize it? Might be holding on a little bit longer until they make that surprise element, because it is a bit of a shock and awe move once this Enigma starts to really roll out those lanes. For now, it's just happy jungling.
That's why Force Major is always on the left side. Usually that is the easier side to be as a support, but still, if the Enigma starts coming in, if the Mirana is first to be caught, he's gonna be fine. The Beastmaster, you're gonna be you need to kill him, but you just can't find the angle while the Mirana is there. So Force Major, you know, multiple good things why he rotated to the bottom lane, but he's seeing that that Natus is doing really well by himself. The problem with the Mirana is he has nowhere to make a kill. With the Soneko, it might be a bit easier, but Night Stalker will have level 6 soon, so that kind of takes away your chances to do anything. I think right now for the Mirana, just go and arrow creeps in the enemy jungle, keep missing from the map, and kind of putting a little bit of pressure in the minds of Navi.
Laurel is off to a crazy amount of CS already. He's up to 66 last hits and topping the net worth on this Caudle. Like, you might think that Caudle might have been nerfed in that little patch that we just saw, but I don't think things have changed too much in the case of this good old Gandalf. He's still strong as ever. Gonna go for a bit of an attempt here onto Lays and the Night Stalker, but Sweet and Strong's gonna be here. And Soneko's just, well, nobody's giving him the high five.
Bottom lane.
Going for the attempt there. Yep, they will get first blood. That's going to be Granny going down. Force Major brings up the first blood for BetBoom onto Solo's Snapfire. A bit out of position there. It just seemed like they did get the catch on through the arrow. Decent amount of damage, plus the roar. Very good stun combination, and that will definitely lead into a kill if they ever catch someone.
This is what happens when the Mirana is just in your jungle. You never know, is he mid, is he bottom? Until the Beastmaster gets level 6, it's kind of the same. None of the guys can actually set anything up for him. And we can see Laurel is actually coming to the bottom lane.
Yeah, he's rotating and trying to look for an opening here too. V-Tune, though, looks like he's already moving out, and now the horses are revealed. There's no more business towards this bottom tower. That should be going down for BetBoom. So getting the first kill, getting the first tower. They're pretty happy with how this laning stage is about to end for them.
BetBoom are playing this really well. The first kill, it really doesn't matter that much, but this little rotation from Laurel right now, knowing that the supports of Navi cannot fight, and the Night Stalker doesn't want to do anything just yet. So this is just a beautiful time.
They're going to look for Soneko. That's going to be Navi with their first kill as well. Was looking for the action rune, but nothing found. Ember also picks up the DD into his bottle. That will be ready for him to use. Didn't read the cookie there at all.
Right off the bat here, we are seeing a difference from when Navi played against Pariparni, that point CIS rejects, is that the lifestealer there just stayed in the lane forever. This is the strength of this hero, something that has changed ever since they put the bounty rune next to the outpost. Carries that can actually stay longer in the lane have been picked up more, and lifestealer is one of those heroes, but you want them in the lane for a long time, not to be pushed out at 7-8 minutes, but to lane for another 3 or 4 at least, and even apply some pressure. But BetBoom, they do an amazing job, and this is gonna hinder the lifestealer's farm quite a lot, because you don't want to go towards the top part of the map where the Enigma is farming right now. So you are very greedy on the side of Navi, and BetBoom, they're doing a good job utilizing that. Plus the nighttime is almost gonna expire, so this is gonna put Navi at a big disadvantage. BetBoom really doing great in the early game, despite only having 1 kill and 1k gold lead. In terms of positioning, they should be quite happy.
But how does Navi kind of counter that into their advantage? Like, how do you start to kind of read the game here? Do you force yourself to take down that top tier 1 tower? Like, they're already pressuring it here with the DD pop to no one, and now Soneko getting dived under the tower. I mean, you can get this kill here. No rotations are kicking in, so unless they are going to defend it, I guess that is in Navi's playbook, to just open up the map with this top tier 1 tower down.
You were hoping maybe for some TPs there on the top lane. Sure, if the enemies allow you to get a tower, you're gonna be happy with that. But ideally, you would wait for TPs from BetBoom and then smoke into the jungle where the Beastmaster is. So ideally, of course, you would kill the Keeper of the Light. But if no one is on the top lane, you don't know what you're running into, and you're definitely running into enemy vision, so you have to be smoked. But the Navi are gonna be okay with this, getting the tower. Still, BetBoom, you could see that they really didn't care about that tower. They know that. Controlling the bottom lane is the most important thing right now, because that's where the Beastmaster wants to play, and storm down the mid lane when he can. BetBoom has better out-pushing mechanisms than the side of Navi, and that is a big thing.
Looking at some of the item choices that they're going for on the side of BetBoom, you've got the Orchid soon coming up for the Caudle, and Beastmaster also got a big list of items that he wants to get for himself. Starting from the most basic ones to the slightly bigger ones in the end. Get that push going. But still fairly healthy in net worth. Like you've got 3 of the BetBoom heroes in the top 4, so definitely shows how strong they came out of laning stage. But this, where is the Night Stalker threats? Like, Lays would love to show the power of this Night Stalker, and it definitely comes through Dark Ascension. But how willing are you? How willing are you to use that Dark Ascension for a solo kill?
You should be willing to use it. Maybe. But you want to use it on the bottom lane to get a kill. If you use it on the top lane, you're gonna be losing your mid lane tower. That's why it's so tough for them. And look at Navi; they're going for a smoke and force major. That's so unfortunate from no one.
Difficult target to catch as well with all those leap charges. Still a very tanky one to grab. They are chasing Night Stalker in the top lane though, so BetBoom, well, now you're gonna have to play it defensively with the Dark Ascension. And Soneko did get the early catch there with the hook shot, enabling that whole situation. Ember also just quickly zaps away, but they are looking towards top. Navi are stacking up towards the top lane. Mortimer's Kisses thrown in as well. Laurel slowly burning in the tree line. And it's going to be Navi picking up a kill for themselves, but that's already 2 ultis used. However, Enigma did hit level 6 thanks to that, so now they have the Black Hole online.
That was a beautiful move from BetBoom. Up until the point that they stayed on the top lane. The second that the Night Stalker uses the ulti, you're happy to just get yourself away. The bottom lane will keep pushing. You're gonna keep control of the bottom part of the map. Gyro is the fastest farmer in the game right now, and they stay and they give away the Caudle. This Orchid, it's a cool approach to countering the Ember and actually being able to go into fights, but it can backfire. You saw what we saw in one Division 2 game. The Caudle went for the Vessel, and then he went for the BKB, and he was still dying with the Vessel, giving him extra HP. So imagine what's gonna happen if he gets caught in this game, or we already saw it stop.
At least BetBoom is getting to pressure this mid tower for a bit. Snapfire is gonna be there though. It's only a couple hits onto that. Solo happy to grab all this farm for himself, and the Snapfire still needs a bit more time for the Mortimer's Kisses to be back online. There's a Beastmaster though, willing to push down this bottom tier 2 tower, which is already down to 700 HP. So 12 minutes in, you're already going to lose this tier 2. Your bottom lane completely dead laned at this point. Even with just only 4 kills in this game.
Yeah, BetBoom is just doing such a great job. As I said, the only mistake was not pulling out of top lane, but the idea behind it, we're gonna force out the Night Stalker ulti on the top lane. If not, he'll die, and then the bottom lane is just gonna be free for our Beastmaster. And now, with that tower gone, pushing down the mid lane is gonna be much easier for BetBoom, and you already see the rotations coming in. Before the Gyro has the Axe and the BKB, he's probably not going to be joining fights too much, but at that point, he's going to be super strong, because we can expect him to have it at a decent timing, somewhere around 20 minutes in.
Potentially, yeah. That's another tower down for BetBoom. Triple net worth lead as well on all of their cores. Continues to keep on to the lead for themselves. Economically, not a massive lead though when you compare the team graphs, but at least a tiny one. But now going for the smoke here, Soneko force major with Laurel, missing the hook shot onto Sweden Strong. Enigma hiding into the tree line, has to go for the TP out, but is he gonna be in time? Arrow on the point. That's gonna be an easy snipe for them. Sweden Strong down. Soneko will take the last hit for this kill.
I expected Navi to be the first team to actually take control back of their big jungle, or at least attempt to do so, because for BetBoom it isn't that important, and for Navi it's of the utmost importance to take control of the bottom lane. At least while all this was happening from the side of BetBoom, they placed some vision that should allow you to mid lane. Ember should be okay.
Amber should be fine here. That is the Orchid pop there quickly from Laurel, but not enough firepower nearby to actually catch them. And that is a kind of an issue for BetBoom. If they don't have Hookshot and don't have Roar, it is very difficult to actually catch any heroes here for their side. So if they play initiators, you gotta have close ranks in terms of how distanced you are from your teammates.
Oh, they smoked under Hawk. They smoked under the Hawk. But I expected no one to be a bit more aggressive in this game. To be honest, they didn't have much to deal with him, and I expected them to just force things to happen on the top lane, on the bottom lane, wherever on the map. But with him being this passive, you can see that he has to go for an early BKB because he wants to fight at that timing. BetBoom are just keeping all tabs in this game set, and I think that no one was the one that needed to create a bit more chaos, especially with the beautiful laning stage that he had. Usually don't see the Ember doing so well against the Coddle, just 200 or 300 gold behind.
I'm a bit disappointed that you did not use a pun for your advantage, since we do have the Huck and we have a Beastmaster in the team. But they're still providing a lot of vision. Definitely both of them.
You've been disappointed by me not using puns for the last few days. I feel like I'm out of inspiration, or maybe I'm just pressured into doing them. And then I feel bad. Like, am I gonna say it now? And then nothing happens, you know. So it's your fault.
It is my fault. I'll take the blame for that. That is well deserved for me at least. Though the current, we're looking at the gyrocopter right now. He has gone all full stats, 4 points in flat cannon. He's living the farming life on this fella. He has 0, 0, 0 stats, 128 last hits in 15 minutes. He's finishing his Aghanims, you know, playing the PvE Dota.
Do you remember when we talked about the Lifestealer being a counter to the Gyro? When this Gyro comes with a BKB at 20 minutes and he has a Beastmaster behind him, he's gonna rip apart the Lifestealer, right? Of course, later on in the game, once there's a Scotty in play or a Basher on the Lifestealer, the things change. But BetBoom, you can see that they are preparing to hit their timing quite strong. The BKB on the Beastmaster not going immediately for the Helm of the Overlord, it just goes to show how confident BetBoom are into fighting, and we can probably expect them to fight around the Roche pit once they're ready to do so.
Two-man smoke from BetBoom is going to be Force Major and Noticed. Still halfway. Nobody was found in the bottom lane. Navi completely spread it inside the Dire jungle. There's a big wave pushing in bottom, and there is V-Tune to welcome this squad. There's a lot of skeleton warriors there. They will turn about. However, this smoke will lead into a Snapfire kill for sure. There's the hook shot. Arrow to follow up. That's a very, very dead Snapfire. Not the kill you were looking for with this Moonlight Shadow, but it is something because it does look like they want to go to Roshan right away. And Navi is nearby.
Yeah, kill into Roche. The Enigma doesn't have a blink. You're aware of that. You know that he only has the Raid pack. You're gonna force out the Night Stalker ulti, then back out, and after that, look for another fight in the Roche.
Let's see what they can do with this, because they've already got the arrow into Roche. He's almost down to half HP. Lays Dark Ascension. He's cast pumping, and there we go. Will be used. BetBoom instantly disengaging on the retreat. They will keep the Night Stalker on the spot, and they smoke on the high ground. They're still willing to fight this. They just have to wait a little bit longer. That Dark Ascension duration, 38 seconds, is closing up halfway already, and we haven't really seen a full fight. Force Major baiting them in the front line. Does get chained up with the leap. Still continuing their advance here. Lays doesn't find any targets around.
Such an obvious bait, but you kind of want to go for it. You're so annoyed by Navi that this Mirana is poking you, and as soon as this Dark Ascension is gone, BetBoom, again, I expect smoke. They might even walk just into Roche, but a smoke into a kill might be a bit easier. Yeah, they'll just walk in.
Yeah, the Dolans are getting some vision, at least for Navi, but BetBoom 2,700 HP remaining on Roshan. The Hawk would love to take this, but he needs to time it perfectly because they also need Natus to get the roar out. They need zoning hook shots, and there we go. It's going to jump the Ember Spirit. No follow-up coming in instantly, and the Hawk is rooted in the front line. The Gyrocopter going to need some backup with the Mortimer's Kisses. Burning and doing a lot of damage, but not really killing them off at all. And Gyro makes his way out, so Nako is sacked. He's going to go for the instant buyback. Roshan, he's down to 1,000 HP. They need to get there fast. Lara with the Illumina going to do a lot of damage into the pit. Feroce is about to fall. The axes are going to be going down. The Aegis will be taken by V-Tune. All the hard work by BetBoom, and Navi will reap the rewards.
That's why I was so hesitant about BetBoom just walking into the Roche pit again, especially during nighttime. You already forced the Dark Ascension. You could have just went for a fight. If they went for a fight, wrapped around, got a roar on one of the core heroes, got him the kill, then the fight is just over. But they initiate on the Ember. I guess a 9-second BKB forced out from no one isn't like a free Roche for Navi, but this was the part of the game where BetBoom felt like they were stronger and they just lose the Roche. So for the next 5 minutes, you remember that lifestealer that can't posture aggressively. Well, now with the Aegis and the Manta, he can, and it makes things a bit easier or a bit harder for BetBoom.
Closing up on the 20-minute marker here. Navi would like to get a bit of a push going onto this mid-tier 1 tower. Glyph already used. So Nako does have a hook shot available, but they're a bit fearful right now. Ember Spirit still 15 seconds cooldown on the BKB. Doesn't look like BetBoom is going to be able to punish that at all, as Navi, 2 objectives in a row for them. Enigma now halfway towards his Blink Dagger. Pump faking the hook shot here, so Nako, and misses it. The Orchid does connect though. And here comes Dark Ascension. Lace is ready to go in. Noticed on the side. Night Stalker charging right through. He sees everybody right now, but the MLS is going to keep them hidden for now. There's no vision this deep by Navi. So it might just be, again, another scouting ulti from the Night Stalker. Infested inside is the Lifestealer. So V-Tune is going to have to exit this taxi. Nobody to kill.
I think after this game, whenever people see a first phase Beastmaster, there's instantly gonna be a Night Stalker picked up, because this Helm of the Dom is not doing anything. Even if he would go for the Overlord, it just gets eaten by the Night Stalker. It's just creating so many problems for BetBoom.
We'll have Solo. He is a bit isolated here, waiting for this silence to run out so he could cookie himself to a better place, but there is nowhere to go. That will be death number 3 for him. We've only had 8 kills in 21 minutes. Both teams are very cautious.
A bloodbath here.
A bloodbath for sure, yeah.
Yeah. These guys, they're definitely pacifistic. You know, they kill only when they have to. That is a very moral and honorable thing to do. But
the East European samurais.
Yeah. Right now, it is that timing that we talked about during the start of the game that BetBoom have to utilize. The daytime when there's no Dark Ascension, you have the definite vision advantage on your side, and you have the advantage to push out the lanes. I think until the next Dark Ascension, what BetBoom is going to be doing right now is setting themselves up for success in terms of pushing out the lanes and then reading Navi's movements. They've been doing this pretty nicely. The problem is Navi has done a great job delaying this game with minimal gold lead on the side of BetBoom. We've already talked about the Lifestealer. That Basher is gonna come out soon. Then this Gyro, even if he gets like a BKB, okay, Satanic, that's a good item. That might actually allow him to stand his ground against the Lifestealer.
What is your damage source, though? Is it just straight from buffs and debuffs, basically, for BetBoom? Is it the Coddle who nukes people down and Gyro just sustains things through with the help of the Inner Beast from the Beastmaster?
You need to start off that is your main damage source, but you need to start off the fight with a roar into an arrow, hookshot into an arrow, preferably a roar, just so that the hookshot will be left for the Enigma black hole, and you want the Beastmaster to run in first. But still, a arrow, a hookshot into an arrow is fine enough. That's how you want to start off the fight. BetBoom should not be fighting if they don't have the better initiation. That is just how their lineup works. They will be lacking damage, as you noticed.
Kind of looking, our observer seems to be a very big Gyrocopter fan as well, because he's constantly highlighting the flak cannon attack talents, the range from the level 10 talent, his skill build, plus the only +2 all attribute stats that he's picking up. I do have to say, if your source is physical damage, might as well max out on the physical damage for the Hawk on this Gyrocopter. This is you know, it is one of those games where you don't need anything else, really.
Dire
1 point in the
it is not
rocket
that
and the
he's
rest is
a-
right click.
It is not that he's the gyro fan, but the only thing that is happening on the map is gyro hitting creeps. So there's really nothing else for him to look at, you know. So
True,
it's,
true.
I think you read
You
that
make a
wrong.
good
Either-
statement.
Yeah. So our observers are awesome, and they know exactly where the action is at. The action might be lacking in this game, but yeah, you know, it doesn't
Maybe
matter.
now we get some action with this 4-man smoke from Navi, a Night Stalker. He's got an infested Life Stealer inside. Once again, the taxi service ready to deliver. He just does run its course. And with BetBoom, if they have their timers written up, you should now know that this is a small moment of weakness potentially for Navi, because they don't have that Aegis anymore, but they have the confidence they had 30 seconds ago. So we're gonna get a little pause in between. Get a bit of a breather until we continue with the gameplay. Clockwork disconnects at the same time as well. Just, you know, that's like a cup of coffee. It's waiting to get back in the game.
You have to understand, Panda, when games have these low amount of kills, it's very tense, because that means that one fight changes a lot. So maybe they're just sweating right now. It's definitely not the patch causing issues there to the client. So they need to disconnect. They need to take a breather on the players, because this is definitely tense, you know. Okay, I got pushed out of the game right now.
Yes.
So.
As you can see, we have a mass exodus from the server, but everybody should be able to get back as well in just a moment, hopefully. Though,
I'm back.
when you think about the situation for both of these teams, waiting for that initiation to come out from either, we now have an Enigma Blink Dagger. So Sweden Strong could just land a big black hole, but all you really need to do is just land it on 1 or 2 targets. Even catching the Beastmaster, or just the gyro, or even just the Caudal, and have some backup, maybe from your Eidolons, for example, so that the Clockwork hookshot doesn't break your black hole, or the Roar, or the Arrow, because you don't have BKB, obviously. You can still make a huge play happen with this level 1 black hole on your pause 4 Enigma.
There's 2 ways I would approach this if I was Sweden Strong. One is don't do anything and wait for your guys to run down BetBoom. The other one is, since BetBoom is going to be running every single time when the Dark Ascension is used, just jump in and black hole anyone so that BetBoom try to save him, and thus just force them to fight you when they don't have better vision. So Navi, let's see.
Well, looks like we're finally going to get some action here, as they're going to be jumping straight in with the Dark Ascension, finding the Beastmaster. Notice going for the teleport out, but nope, not gonna happen this time. The Roar is gonna hold out the Night Stalker for a moment, but he's desperate to get into safety somewhere. Do they have? Yes, they have another Dust, and the Malefice is gonna be there. Cookie on the creep, and that's gonna be noticed going down. That is a BKB popped as well, and V-Tune with the Basher. First hit bash to cancel the TP. Of course, he's been practicing those on his free time.
Yep. I think it's just Dota being like, guys, kill each other, do something, you know, poking them with a stick. I like what BetBoom did, though. Immediately, they went to the top lane and outpushed everything they can. So Navi, they're making these moves, but they're not getting anything out of them. One time when BetBoom actually gets a better fight, they're probably gonna be getting themselves a pretty solid objective. So right now, there is that timing when there is no Dark Ascension. Still, it is nighttime. So I'm thinking BetBoom are gonna be a bit hesitant, pushing out the lanes and waiting for Navi to make a bit of a blunder would be an easier thing to do, but they feel like the gyrocopter is strong enough to go in now.
Smoking with just 4 heroes, and they're respawning right away with that clock as they get the jump onto the Ember Spirit. No one able to get the quick remnant jump with the BKB, and that rocket will not pop onto the Ember, so he's able to get out. And since Beastmaster just respawned, but you remember, he was dead because his TP was cancelled. He wasn't able to get back in. Gyrocopter in trouble, surrounded, and there's the Mortimer's Kisses. Burn, baby, burn! As that fire comes out from the Granny, and Clockwork in trouble as well. Navi will take down 2. And another pause during the team fight. That is 2 heroes gone from BetBoom, one of them being the Gyrocopter.
You could see Lays there, how he was moving constantly to give vision of the enemies. He knew that he was probably under enemy vision, under the enemy ward that was just placed, but it didn't matter to him because he always saw exactly where the enemies are, and they were just waiting and waiting. I don't really know what the Hawk is thinking, not having a BKB and running into a team that has a black hole and Mortimer's Kisses. You're not gonna survive that. There is no way. You can have 10 Satanics if you want, but no, you're not getting out of that alive, especially now with the Lifestealer having a faster. This is not a timing for BetBoom, but
Yeah.
this is why we did prefer the Navi lineup. During the night, it's just almost impossible for BetBoom to get anything good going for them, and of course, slight miscommunication between Force Major and Saneko not getting that arrow off in time is also a pretty big thing.
As we come out of the pause, Mirana does get the leap out on time, but the BKB used by the Beastmaster to get a bit of extra distance, and we're not getting to continue play. We've only just gotten to the low ground. One thing that I'm curious about here is since Beast does not have a Blink Dagger, Coddle does, Enigma could in 4 seconds go for the Blink Dagger and try to black hole the Beastmaster. Apparently we all are getting the connection problem on the server, and we're about to drop out. So another mass exodus of the server is happening again. Very unfortunate.
As timeout in 11 and it stopped. Let's disconnect. I'm kind of feeling scared to disconnect and reconnect. It's like I'm playing the game.
Just gonna have to wait for things to stabilize for the moment. There's definitely been a bit of a tech difficulty game on the side of the servers, but at least the players are ready to withstand whatever obstacles there to meet during the course of this this series. We're not getting them back until, for now at least. But no matter what the result of this team fight is, they already got one big kill on the side of Navi of the gyrocopter. So when you're kind of putting this position for Navi, still black hole up, and you've got the infest bomb available as well, you have every possibility of just either forcing BetBoom away or start to focus on an objective. That's most likely going to have to be the top tier 2 tower, because Clock is going to be gone for such a long time.
Yeah, the thing in this game now, it has become almost impossible for BetBoom to play the game. Especially, you know, Laze still doesn't have the blink. Imagine what happens when the Night Stalker gets the blink. Noticed? Okay,
Well, they're going to get the roar out to the Lifestealer at least, so he is held away. No problem here. BetBoom does get the retreat, and they are pinging the top lane, so instantly recognizing we should just push down this tier 2 tower. It is pretty low.
So what's the play from BetBoom right now? They still have the potential to split push. The problem is they cannot fight. Gyro still doesn't want to go for a BKB. With that kind of a build, you have to get the blink on the Beastmaster. There's no doubt about it. You don't have an initiation, so you need to have something that's going to allow you to start the fight better off. We already talked about them needing to burst the hero down. Still, it can only happen during daytime, so for the next 3 minutes...
Blaze was hunting for Natus. He does have to pop the drum charges. That's the last drum charge as well to run away to safety back into his own base. 1 tower, 2 tower. Glyph used as well. They're going for the only option that they can. That is split push the bot lane.
Right now, it's all about itemization from BetBoom. I really want to see what kind of items they're gonna go for. The blink on the beast and this hex on the Coddle. Those are things that can change things up. I still don't know if the Hawk can get away with not going for a BKB. He's thinking about a Silver Edge, which could be okay just to get yourself in a better position. But I'm still pretty hesitant about him not getting a BKB.
Yeah, I guess the BKB could feel like a must option, at least in many games. You would like to go for that full magic immunity. But is it really going to be the big factor to save him? If it's just about his positioning, I guess you can just, you know, build yourself into a very, very tanky boy and just ignore whatever stuns are being thrown at your face. If you're able to live through the black hole, if you're able to live through a Night Stalker on top of you, you go for, say, for example, a Monkey King bar at some point. I guess you're not too afraid about too afraid of the fear. I think skipping BKB just tells how much you trust your teammates, and instead of how much you trust yourself.
Might be the case, though. I would be okay with this build if they had managed to get the first Roche. If BetBoom were stronger, if the Hawk could actually posture aggressively, I would be okay with this one. But he's always the one running in. And they go for a smoke with a blink on the beast. So this can change things. This is finally a chance for BetBoom to win a fight. It's still nighttime and Dark Ascension is up. So it is very dangerous, but they feel like they have to do something right now.
Also, one of the big advantages of having a Mirana in your team is you're smoking and listening to the fight. And now the hook shot is only onto V2, but it doesn't really do much here. He's already down. Gyrocopter isolated, and again, We do have a bit of a pause called on, I believe it is due to some lag issues once again. But yeah, that is BetBoom's the Clockwork down once again. And Gyrocopter is in a bit of trouble here. He doesn't really have any saving abilities from his team. Just the Blinding Light, really, to keep them away. But no Force Staffs. No way to actually get this Gyrocopter safely away because it's only less than 4 seconds. You're going to get the chains out from the Ember Spirit. It's going to come back off cooldown. Night Stalker with his BKB, once they get close, pop the Void, slow down the Hawk. So do you use Satanic to purge the abilities?
Yeah.
Let's see if they can get all those debuffs off of you. They're actually going to let him go. So BetBoom, guess they had the high ground advantage.
Oh, we finally get a little bit of game in our pause, so that's really nice. We're going to be seeing heroes moving a bit. BetBoom, you know, it is, I think they should be happy with how this one went. It was a little bit optimistic, thinking that you can actually make something happen in the enemy triangle in a game that you are losing against the hero Enigma that pretty much thrives if you're just running into it. But on the other hand, I still think they need to continue making these moves, especially now with the daytime coming and the Roche being up. BetBoom will be charging into the enemy triangle, will be charging towards the top part of the map. They just have to make something happen. But before that, I think they still need to be dealing with the lanes. Straight up 5 versus 5 fight. If the Dark Ascension is up, you can't do anything. And finally, we're back to status quo with the heroes not moving and there being a pause.
I've seen this before. Once again, they really have to say that the server has not blessed us with our game number 1 with Navi versus BetBoom. I actually was thinking what goes in the minds of players, and I think Fear would be the person to ask, like, what goes through his mind when you have, like, a lot of pauses going on? Like, how do you keep the guys focused in their gameplay? Like, is there any magic trick? Do you just constantly try to fiddle with something to keep your hands warm and keep your focus in the game? Because, you know, you got to keep yourself active.
I think when Fear played Dota that it wasn't in beta yet, so I think it was
Right, true.
old school. Yeah.
It was a complete game.
I don't think he's the right guy to ask. Either way.
Watch your words.
This is now a situation for BetBoom where it's daytime, no Dark Ascension, and you have the DD on the gyro. If there was ever a time for you to just run in, it's right now. Though they're going in for Roche, and that puts the Hawk in a pretty bad spot. They're hoping that Navi doesn't respond in time because they actually don't know what's happening.
That DD on the Gyrocopter, and there's the scouting info coming out from the Ember Spirit. And everything else is up except for the Dark Ascension. And here we go. The Flamethrower. Mortimer kisses into the pit. Soneko will cancel it with the hook shot. Black hole canceled. Doesn't actually get anything done. Sweet and Strong with the first black hole of the game. Doesn't do anything. Roche is dropping low. And they might be able to take this one. They're taking, but it's snatched. The Age is snatched by no one. Able to take it for Navi. And now Gyrocopter in big trouble. No Satanic, nothing getting stun controlled. And he's down. Soneko will drop as well. Actually gets the TP just in time. But the Beastmaster is not going to be as lucky. BetBoom will end up losing 2 of their members, and even the Aegis. They got the Roche kill, but not the prize inside the Roche pit.
Oh, they pushed out the Lifestealer with the blind from the coddle.
Look
that
at
was
the damage
really cool.
dealt. They did 14,000 compared to the 4K. BetBoom got nothing out there.
You have 1 damage dealer on the gyro, and he dies. Like, there's nothing else for you. So what happens there is Soneko tries to push out the Ember, and he traps him and the Ember Spirit, so the Hawk can't get to the Aegis. If the Hawk gets the Aegis, maybe you can turn things around. But this is just looking very, very bad for BetBoom right now. And that was with a perfect start. It just goes to show how hard it is to play these heroes into the Ember and into the Lifestealer. But the Night Stalker for me is just the guy doing so much work. You can see there, without the Night, without the Dark Ascension, he just jumps in, and with the BKB, he's tanky enough to sustain through everything.
Sustain is pretty much the key word to use there for Navi. They are having the upper hand in this game against BetBoom. And they have withstood, they've waited patiently for their time to strike. And that was definitely one of those moments where Navi can take the driver's seat for themselves. Now holding on to that Aegis for another 3.5 minutes. It is on the Ember Spirit. No one He is one of the players who are unkilled so far. We have 4 players who have not died in 32 minutes. Notice, goes for the roar, but it's onto the Lincolns.
And
That's
he
a bit of
just put a foot in his mouth, literally. Like,
Yep.
shut up. Okay, that's a new Lincolns showed. They were really desperate to get rid of the Aegis because you don't want the nighttime to come and the Aegis to be there. BetBoom in a really unfavorable position. That's why they have a gem. They need to make sure that they're never under enemy vision. It just cannot happen. But the biggest problem is your constant output of damage isn't there. At least something going their way. Larl will get a hex, so now you have two things that you can initiate with Blink Roar, Blink Hex. The hook shot probably going to be saved for a black hole now, but that doesn't mean that Navi is going to wait for any of those.
This has been a very difficult game for Laurel as well because he's a pretty explosive mid player. He's a very reliable source of BetBoom's success. But in this game, just hasn't really got to shine too much on his Coddle. You know, and there's the hook shot. Oh, nice force staff hook shot as well. It does push the Night Stalker onto the low ground. There's a Light Stealer inside him. There's the Infest Bomb coming out. Gyrocopter once again on the front line of firepower. And they're actually going to get burnt down, and they will take down the Hawk. He is gone. Na'Vi will again score on the big core and take down the Gyro of the Hawk. And now it will force out the Glyph, at least from BetBoom. No one still on the front line. Does get hexed up. It was a very good attempt there by the Clockwork. Soneko hook-shotting in, force-staffing the Night Stalker onto the low ground, but the Infest Bomb was a bit too much.
And they missed the arrow. I don't know how that happened. Force Major. We've talked about it this is why I love Chinese teams. When they slow down the game, they can still stay extremely focused. And even when there's no fighting for like 20 minutes, there comes a team fight and everyone uses everything perfectly. But
yeah, they're ready
the problem is when the game is so long, you tend to get a little bit sleepy. You are not ready at every single point. And that's what happened to Force Major. With that arrow not connecting, it just made sure Night Stalker survives, and with you not getting a kill on that kind of initiation, it has to feel bad.
They are TPing towards the bottom lane, and the fight is breaking loose in the lane. Lifestealer has the Manta away, and maybe BetBoom can see a bit of an opening for themselves, but Soneko misses the hook shot. And Sweet and Strong, he's ready for the Blink Black Hole. He has a 9-second BKB. Na'Vi can pretty much do whatever they want right now. Aegis gonna expire in 40 seconds. BetBoom back to their base.
At this point, it's nighttime. You don't care about the Aegis. The next 5 minutes, you're gods of the map. I'm trying to find an item on BetBoom that changes things, but at this point, they're just lacking the damage. You can't kill enough heroes before the black hole comes out that you get turned around on. I would say the Ember needs to die first, but that's almost impossible to happen. So BetBoom, they need to find a very weird angle where they kill find the Ember, kill him, and they find the Enigma at the same time. That is almost impossible. And even with that, I'm not even sure that you're going to be winning the fight.
There's like 1 or 2 items you could get on the side of BetBoom, but you just don't have the money for them right now. Everyone is so far away from building stuff like a refresher on the Beastmaster. We talked about the Hex that was on the Coddle earlier on that he has now. The Wind Waker that he's working on, which could also work for him in his favor. But these are big items to buy. You just don't buy them right away. And Lays in the Hawk, he's actually inside the base. They're going to find the Hawk, but doesn't know about the looming surprise inside. The cookie save and the hook shot misses, but they do get the arrow. However, they've already stacked up on Na'Vi, so BetBoom cannot go for this.
A bit of a mistake from Na'Vi placing a ward. You have a Night Stalker Night Vision, so you didn't really have to place that ward. With ward being placed and the sentry inside of the base, that's why BetBoom knew that was coming. Still, on the other hand, Na'Vi doesn't have to risk it. I just don't see BetBoom getting a good initiation in this game. So for the next, now 3 minutes, Na'Vi is still going to be keeping BetBoom in the base. BetBoom, do they have any smokes? None in the shop. They have one on the Clockwork. That one has to count. With that one, you have to overtake your triangle. At least your triangle back. You cannot smoke to the top part of the map. It's just not good enough.
That is the Daedalus on the Courier as well, going for a very long wraparound, trying to find his way towards the Gyrocopter. Needs to go for some very perilous waters, but he's going to go right in between this enemy team. Has to go all the way to the side once again. That is a big item for the Gyrocopter, a major source for his damage to get that Daedalus up and running. If that courier dies, that is pretty rough. There's a Hawk in there as well, but that is theirs. So he will be able to get and retrieve his Daedalus on the gyrocopter. Courier makes his way back home, so a bit of a huzzah on the side of BetBoom for that.
I think they can give this gyro, if they would give him a Divine Rapier at this point, he would still just die. And there's that smoke from BetBoom that we said that has to count. So they're not trying to overtake their triangle, they're trying to go for a team fight
Laze
and
is
overtake
alone.
their Roche area.
Laze is very alone right now, holding the gem as well. They should need to get this kill. Hawk the arrow is gonna miss as well. The Cox and the arrow completely disarray in on the side. V-Tune is there, and Sweet and Strong waiting for that black hole opportunity, but they've already taken down the gyro and the clockwork at BetBoom. Again disengaging, but this time it's going to be 3 heroes lost instead of 2, as that is the end of the Beastmaster. He's gone for 50 seconds as well. Clockwork coming in with a buyback, but what can you do? Navi seems unstoppable.
And Sweden Strong used one black hole in this game that lasted for half a second, and that's it, and he's winning the game. Like,
wild.
Just his pressure is enough, but BetBoom can't do anything. You can see there, again, arrow missing, again, Force Major just not being up to the task. His team set everything up, but I think even if that arrow connects, it's not much changes, but it's still gonna feel bad. Having 4 kills and not being able to hit an arrow on a star target, Force Major, they need to get him a comfort hero next game.
Over the blink stun. Hookshot does connect onto the Snapfire as he's under the tier 4 towers. Maybe a bit too deep for you, Granny. And we'll get poked, force-stepped into the cogs as well, and burnt alive. Laurel will get this one. But meanwhile, as Granny's taken down, they've also lost every single barracks inside the base of BetBoom. It's mega creeps for Navi, and now they can just wait. And then drop the guillotine.
You know what, Panda? Is it weird to say that's the best BetBoom could have hoped for? You know, getting the granny kill for mega creeps. You know, it is weird, but that's just how it is. They don't have smokes.
I'm still baffled by the fact that you're winning a game with a 0.5 second black hole. Like the fear of itself.
A 40-minute game.
40-minute game with a half a second black hole, and that being the factor to win the game. Well, not really. They're still winning with it, and still a bit of frustration from the players and the cameras as well. Like, oh, again, a pause. Like, can we just get this game out of the way and go for the next one? Let's see if BetBoom still has some fight in them. They're going outside of the base, looking for that one fight, and again, it's the Night Stalker with an infested Lifestealer. He's got 4,000 HP currently, and there's the hookshot on the money. But again, where's the backup? Where's the damage? Here comes Sweet and Strong. There's the black hole. That's going to be at least a quadruple duration compared to the previous one. And the Hawk is dead. GG, well played is called. And Navi will take the game from BetBoom.
Yeah, you know, when you're the weaker team, you need to at least find goals. The goal for BetBoom, I'm not saying that they're a weaker team, but in this game they definitely were. The goal for this one was force them to use a long duration black hole. At least that, you know, because since we can't win against them, let's not be completely obliterated in this game. So finally we see a black hole. You could see BetBoom, they were desperate at that point. So Nako knew that the only way to win a fight is jump in, arrow connects, you get a first kill, and then you go from there. With the gyro just being 0, 5, and 0, the Hawk not contributing much, maybe even anything to this game, you couldn't really hope for a victory. I think when BetBoom had their timing, that the Hawk had to go for the BKB. Him dying there around the Roche pit, him dying in the next couple of team fights just to the Mortimer's Kisses, they can't allow that to happen. You gave him all the farm, here's your damage, and you don't buy a BKB with that, you put him in a disadvantageous position. So maybe that's the best thing. But Navi, they play their cards right. Despite BetBoom doing really good in the first 15 minutes, Navi just on point with the plays.
Navi ends the game with 3 heroes who don't die at all. V-Tune 605, No One 5010, Laze 509. So that is quite the something for a 40-minute game, that you have 3 immortal heroes in the game. But hey, that was the first game. I wonder what the panel has on their minds about that first game. So we'll take a tiny break and then we return to that.